The galaxy was a sprawling tapestry of stars, civilizations, and secrets. At its heart lay the celestial citadel, an opulent palace orbiting a dying sun where the Galactic Council convened to govern trillions of beings across countless worlds. For centuries, humanity had been relegated to the fringes of this vast empire, a young species struggling for relevance in a universe dominated by ancient races with incomprehensible powers. But today, they had sent their most daring emissary, Agent Kale Arden, a human spy posing as an ambassador from Earth. Kale stood at the edge of the Grand Hall, her disguise impeccable. Her shimmering robes were woven from threads that mimicked the iridescence of Andromedan silk, and her skin bore subtle holographic enhancements to mask her distinctly human features. The air buzzed with energy as dignitaries from every corner of the cosmos mingled under crystalline chandeliers that refracted light into cascading rainbows. She clenched her fists beneath her sleeves, reminding herself why she was here. Humanity's survival depended on her success. Earth's leaders had uncovered whispers of a secret pact among the council members, a shadowy alliance threatening to destabilize entire sectors of the galaxy. If true, it could mean war, famine, or worse, extermination of weaker species like humans. Kale's mission was simple yet perilous: infiltrate the court, gather evidence, and return home before anyone realized what she truly was. As she moved through the crowd, Kale activated the neural implant embedded in her temple. It allowed her to process alien languages instantaneously, though the cacophony of overlapping dialects still overwhelmed her senses. She focused instead on observing the key players: the Arcturians with their liquid metal faces, the insectoid, Vorthaxians clicking mandibles in quiet debate, and the ethereal lumini whose forms flickered like living starlight. Her target approached moments later. Counselor Zern, a towering figure clad in robes made of pure stardust. His voice resonated like distant thunder when he addressed her. "Ah, Ambassador Arden," he said, his piercing gaze lingering just long enough to make her uneasy. "I trust your journey was pleasant." "It was, Counselor," she replied smoothly, bowing slightly. "Your hospitality is unmatched." Zern smiled, or at least his expression shifted in a way that approximated amusement. "You flatter me, but tell me what brings such youthful enthusiasm to our esteemed gathering." Kale hesitated only briefly. "Hope, Counselor. Humanity seeks not only to survive but to contribute meaningfully to galactic society. We wish to prove ourselves worthy allies." His smile widened, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. "Worthy allies indeed. Perhaps you'll find more than you bargained for here." Before she could respond, a commotion erupted near the entrance. A delegation of Krillian warriors, hulking reptilian creatures known for their martial prowess, stormed into the hall, their leader bellowing accusations against the council. Kale watched intently as tensions escalated, noting how several counselors exchanged knowing glances while others feigned outrage. This was no ordinary dispute. It was orchestrated. Later that evening, Kale slipped away from the festivities and into the labyrinthine corridors of the Citadel. Her implant guided her toward the archives, a restricted area rumored to contain records of all council decisions. Security drones patrolled the halls, their mechanical eyes scanning for intruders. But Kyle had prepared for this moment. She activated a device concealed within her sleeve, a prototype cloaking field developed by Earth's top scientists. Invisible to both organic eyes and surveillance systems, she navigated the maze-like passages until she reached the archive chamber. Its entrance was guarded by a biometric scanner, but Kale had anticipated this hurdle as well. Using a sample of Zern's DNA she'd discreetly collected earlier, she bypassed the lock and stepped inside. The room was vast, filled with floating data crystals that pulsed with faint light. Each crystal contained terabytes of information, cataloged according to species, date, and topic. Kale accessed her implant again, inputting keywords related to the rumored pact. Within minutes, she found what she was looking for, a classified dossier labeled Project Ecliptica. Her breath caught as she skimmed the contents. Project Ecliptica wasn't merely a conspiracy. It was a plan to harness the energy of black holes, to create weapons capable of annihilating entire solar systems. Worse still, the project's funding came from voluntary contributions by council members themselves, hidden behind layers of bureaucratic obfuscation. Entire species had already been sacrificed to test these weapons, their planets reduced to cosmic dust without so much as a whisper of protest. But there was something else, a detail that chilled her to the core. Buried deep within the files was a reference to Earth, marked as a potential target should humanity resist assimilation into the galactic hierarchy. Kale copied the data onto a secure drive and deactivated the cloaking field. As she turned to leave, however, a voice echoed behind her. "Impressive work, Ambassador." She froze. Turning slowly, she saw Counselor Zern standing in the doorway, his stardust robes glowing ominously. Behind him loomed 2 Krillian guards, their claws gleaming in the dim light. "You've outlived your usefulness," Zern continued, stepping closer. "Did you really think we wouldn't notice?" Kyle's mind raced. She couldn't fight her way out, not against Zern and his guards, but perhaps she didn't need to. Reaching into her pocket, she activated a fail-safe mechanism, a small EMP device designed to disable electronic systems within a limited radius. The room plunged into darkness as the EMP discharged. Kyle sprinted past the stunned guards, relying on muscle memory to guide her back to the main hall. Alarms blared throughout the citadel, red lights flashing along the corridors as security forces scrambled to locate her. By the time she reached the docking bay, her lungs burned and her legs trembled with exhaustion. A single escape pod awaited her, pre-programmed to return to Earth. As she climbed aboard, she glanced back one last time at the celestial citadel, now bathed in crimson warning lights. Weeks later, Kale stood before Earth's High Council, presenting the evidence she had risked everything to obtain. The room fell silent as holographic projections displayed the horrors of Project Ecliptica. "This isn't just about us," Kyle said, her voice steady despite the weight of her words. "It's about every species too weak or too insignificant to defend themselves. If we don't act now, the galaxy will become a graveyard ruled by fear." The council deliberated for hours before reaching a decision. Humanity would forge alliances with other marginalized species, forming a coalition to oppose the council's tyranny. It was a dangerous gambit, one that might ignite a galactic war, but it was also their only chance at survival. As Kale left the chamber, she felt a spark of hope amidst the looming storm. The galaxy was vast and cruel, but even the smallest light could pierce the darkest void, and humanity, for all its flaws, refused to be extinguished.